So in my recent video about Faze, I talked a bit about the issues I think they still had after the Major, and how the Major run shouldn't be treated as any sort of new status quo. I called for the removal of Brocky, talked about the mistakes made while building the squad in the first place, and even gave some suggestions on how to fix their issues. And yet here we are, and Faze seem to have learned nothing from the previous season. So, let's dive into this game a little bit. Now, I think in the pistol round we can already see some of the issues. They're not really that prominent yet. This is a pretty good round overall. But I look at this round and I see Jacob running out behind Twist. Again, this is something I said recently. Jacob is the entry player of this team, why is he not entering then? And this is another example of that. You can see that Twist runs out of Palace first, then we have Brocky pushing side. And again, this is a pretty good round, and they are gonna win this pistol. But yeah, there's another thing I don't understand is Jacob as this entry player, he's running in with the bomb while we're playing without a CT smoke. So I guess playing without a CT smoke, I would assume we want to push CT. And yet there seems to be no setup for it, no flash. Jacob has to stop to plant instead of just running through and pushing it. I don't know, man. This is just all looking very worrying already. Although Faze win the first round, they then lose against Nico. And, this round I'm not gonna harp on it too much. This is a Nico from Faze, so I don't think we should be expecting them to win this round. But there's already a theme here starting to manifest, which is Jacob lurking instead of entering. You can see that round 3 here, with the Deagles, Jacob is alone in B apartments instead of being with his team and trying to make space. Carrigan playing solo mid was also a big thing on this Mirage T side, and I didn't like it. I don't think it's good. So positional issues are still there, I'd say. Yeah, honestly, they just look very similar to their major selves, except this is like stage 1 major phase, not stage 2, not playoffs, And unfortunately, Jacob lurking has become somewhat a consistent thing. Now here in round 5, we're gonna see Carrigan lurking mid again, and he is going to die on this lurk, but we are going to see a great example of what happens when they actually let Jacob go in first. And yeah, this is a pretty solid round from the pole. As you can see, Carrigan gets caught off by a set play there, but Jacob here running in first. Brocky gets killed behind him, he manages to trade it though. And they have the side, there's a bit of a whiff there from Maxter, and this round in the end I'm pretty sure goes the way of Eyeballers. But I mean, look at this, Jacob goes in, gets 2 kills, opens the round up, he maybe overhits a bit there, probably should stay tucked instead of jumping out. But, this is overall a very good round from him, and it's just really unlucky that they lose it. But again, this is a round where they let him go first, and it's immediate success, right? And he keeps finding success when they actually let him push in first. I think Jacob just works well with this bit of element of surprise, And now again, something I talked about in this video of mine is that this current iteration of Faze doesn't have a lurker. Ever since Robs, they don't have a lurker. But they keep relying on lurks. If you look at this round, what they're doing here is they will play a very slow mid default, if you can call it that. I mean, Carrigan just kind of picks by himself. I don't really know what they're doing. And then they have Jacob in B apartments and Frozen in Palace. And they just all get caught off. There is nothing to be found here for them. Frozen in this Palace position also doesn't really have a lot to work with. They do get mid eventually. There is still JW with the open shot though. This round in general, just they don't have a lot, right? Like, look at how uncomfortable they are. Twist just gets caught off guard in connector. And yeah, I mean, this is something that they do a lot, unfortunately, where without having any good lurker or any good setup for their lurkers, really, they keep trying to work with them. And yeah, they don't work well with lurks, unfortunately, so that's another round for Eyeballers. Now I also want to go over to round 9 because this is another rare example of a Jacob entry, and as you will see here, Jacob will manage to get a frag on this entry and will get traded. So once again, I don't know why they don't let him do it more often. Look at this, he will swing out of Palace, jump down, find Rolf, and Dex will kill him, but now they know where Dex is, and they can just go in and eventually find the kill on him. He does take down Twist as well, maybe they were a bit slow in the trade here, but Jacob manages to push in first, get a kill, find some space. He reveals the player on fireboxes, and it turns out being a pretty good round for Faze here. And round 10 is another round where they're just gonna rely on lurks. They're gonna try to play for mid, but they're not really gonna take mid fully. Like, it's weird, I don't know. Like now they're going into mid with 4 players. They have Frozen on this lurk, and they're gonna send Twists into window to lurk as well. The thing is, Twist is also not a lurker. He just doesn't check this spot at all. Maxter kills him from ladder room. It's a mess. And yeah, this Mirage map really came down to this horrible T side where another thing we've seen that I haven't really shown here, there were many rounds where Jacob goes in second behind Carrigan, and that doesn't seem to work at all as well. Carrigan just never gets a kill in those rounds, and Jacob rarely manages to trade him. So yeah, I don't know why they keep doing this. And the thing is, Jacob Carrigan, this duo going in first, like this doesn't sound bad on paper, sending in the IGL so that the young rookie star player can trade him. It just doesn't work in practice though, and I think they need to stop doing it, or, I don't know, change something about it, I guess. But yeah, the Mirage really came down to this. And now, while that is it for Mirage, Inferno is a map that I had a lot of issues with at the major, before the major, and I think I'm still gonna have issues with it because I see the same issues that I've seen before. I said issues way too many times there, wow. Yeah, no, I see the same thing. Jacob is once again playing as Robs, essentially. Like, they still think they have Robs on the team. I don't know why. That's a nice smoke, by the way. But yeah, no, they have Jacob lurking apartments like how many times in this half? Well, this round 5, which is like one of their first full buys. And then rounds 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. I have it all written down here. They all are the same. It's just 4 players playing Banana and Jacob somewhere around apartments. I think there's like one round in there where they end up going A, like with 2 players at the start. But yeah, Jacob just keeps being sent to lurk apartments, which is completely not what we should be doing. I mean, yeah, here he's left in a 1v3, which he will be close to winning, but it's just not it. I mean, let's look at some of those future rounds, shall we? So we've got round 7 with Jacob lurking apartments. Round 8, and Jacob is once again lurking in apartments. Oh, also in round 8, I want to point out that Faze go for the execute with a minute 20 on the clock, and they don't even wait for Jacob to go join them, they just get frozen to walk in and die, and then Carrigan doesn't push and dies as well, and they are just stuck in a 3v5 without anyone really going in. Because again, their entry player is not fucking there. He's out there lurking on A. For some reason, I don't know. I really don't understand this. They have nobody with the entry mentality other than Jacob. And yet they keep putting him somewhere else. And then Jacob dies to the boost. Like, amazing round, guys. Round 9, and it's Jacob in apartments with twists next to him this time. Once again, he's not the entry player though. And round 10 is the same thing with Jacob and twists in apartments. Round 11, and Jacob is once again heading towards apartments. And round 12, and once again, as his team is pushing towards B long, towards Banana, I guess, Jacob is lurking towards A. And something you might have noticed about this is that they still get 5 rounds this half. Faze, they don't do super poorly with this. Because, well, first of all, Jacob is still a solid player. Even as an A lurker, he actually does pretty well sometimes. Not in this case, but he actually does pretty well most of the time. He won them like 2 rounds in this game. No, sorry, he won them like 1 round in this game. The other one ended with a clutch from eyeballers, but like should have won them at least 2 rounds in this game. And I mean, it's not a Jacob problem in this case, at least. I don't think he's perfect by any means. I think he still has ways to improve, of course. But right now, I think the main problem is not him. I think the main problem is the way he's being utilized, the way the other players are being utilized. Also, Brocky's individual form has been absolutely horrible. Frozen didn't look too good in this game either. And the more I watch of this team, the more I feel like they should replace either Twists or Frozen, just because of the role issues they have right now, where they need somebody who is more aggressive. They need somebody who is able to open rounds in a different way. They need a lurker, essentially. They need Robs, really, is what it is. But hey, at least we got to live through this cinematic experience of JW beating Faze in 2026. Happy New Year, guys. I don't know what to do with this team, man. I mean, we're gonna see what they do, but I'm not looking forward to it, really. I don't have high hopes for Faze this season. They're probably gonna wake up around major time again, and they're gonna pop off, and they're gonna win something. Maybe not the major, maybe like Cologne. They're gonna win a big event, and everyone's gonna say, oh my god, this team is so good once again. And we're all gonna be wrong once again. Well, I say we, but I kinda called it after the major, not to brag, but I kinda did. So yeah, at this point, yeah, I'll let this round play out, I guess, but this would be it for this video. Just wanted to rant a bit about the issues I see with this team. And again, I hope you have a wonderful day. And bye.
Faze with nothing to show across map 2 and 3 of this series.
Yeah, the inverse Faze clan start strong but finish weak on the remaining 2. And for the eyeballers, this was an opportunity they just couldn't pass up. They wanted to get here, they wanted to show us what they've been working on, the grind that this team has been on, and the proof is right there. Faze eliminated from Blast Bounty in a shocking upset to the Eyeballers.